Hi, I'm Lee Lingo, president of the Madisonville Hopkins County Chamber of Commerce, and you're watching the first ever episode of Chamber Spotlight. This is a show that was dreamed up by Rod Wilkerson and Greg Clark of Via Media. They came by the office one day and said, "Hey, Lee, we've got this great idea for a show we think you'll like." Basically, the concept is let's focus on spotlighting the Chamber of Commerce, its activities and events, and its membership. And this is not something that's been done before anywhere that I know of, so we were really excited to get involved. We hope that you'll enjoy this first episode. And now, a word from our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Phil Terry, co-owner of Silver Star, formerly Backyard Burgers. We receive feedback from you, our customers, on adding a few lower-cost combos. Try our new chicken salad sandwich or turkey sandwich combo paired with a side and a 20-ounce drink for only $4.99. We also have a BLT combo and a little burger combo, all for under $5, delivered with the same great service right to your table.
Silver Star, new face, same great food and service.
So there's a lot going on here at the Madisonville Hopkins County Chamber right now. We're currently taking our last applications for and filling the Leadership Hopkins County 2014 class. We're really excited about this project and this program. Every year it's been producing fantastic future leaders for the county. Oh, hey, look who's here. It's Dave from Dave's Sticky Pig. Hey, Dave.
Hello, Lee.
Good to have you today.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Well, thanks for stopping by. We love it when our members come by.
Okay, always glad to stop in. It's a fun place.
This is interesting because we're shooting our first Hometown TV Madisonville Chamber program.
Okay.
And you're one of their original advertisers.
I think so.
I'm curious, what has been your response to your advertisements that you've run?
I think it's brought me a lot of new customers. I think it has given me a chance to show what we do that's different from any of the other fine restaurants in Madisonville. And there are many good places to eat here. We all do things a little different. We all have a different area that we excel in. Mm-hmm. This is one form of advertising that allows me that other forms of media advertising don't. I have an opportunity to personalize the ad. Mm-hmm. And it's brought a lot of new customers. It's made me a minor celebrity where people come in and say, "Where's that guy that fixes those ribs? I want to know how to do it." And I've even had phone calls that say, "Your ad's not on anymore, and I bought these baby back ribs at the store. Can you tell me how to cook them?" And it's like, "Sure."
Well, that's really interesting. I know that's why Patricia and I stopped by one day. Greg from Via Media came by and was telling us about the concept for this show. And he said, "Let's sit out here and watch." And so we were watching the program, and you came on. And I think we watched the loop twice, and Patricia and I both looked at each other and said, "I know where we need to go for lunch."
That's great.
And I don't know if you remember, but we stopped in and were asking you about this.
Yes.
and kind of vetting the whole idea to see how successful it was. You think it's been a real positive experience for your business?
It's been positive enough that I did it again. We're going to do another episode on brisket.
Brisket. Oh, everybody loves brisket.
I think so. I want them to love our brisket. And I've enjoyed doing the show with Greg and Kim, and they've done a great job with helping me. I was very nervous. I was scared to death going into it. And they set me at ease. They kept saying, "You're doing fine. You're doing great." Kim worked her magic, and it made me look like I was somebody on TV.
A bona fide Food Network TV star, right?
Well, I don't know about that, but at least I didn't look like the Three Stooges.
So you came from a background in food service. You've been in Hopkins County for a long time.
Gosh, yes.
Before you opened Dave's Sticky Pig, you were...
I was with Number 9 Steakhouse and Backyard Burgers. Before that, I worked fast food with like Hardee's and Burger King. And back when I was 1978, I worked for Quick Pick Markets.
Really?
Older people around here will remember when pantries or kangaroos were called Quick Picks. I worked in the kitchen. I cooked fried chicken. I've pretty much, once I got into Hardee's, I decided that I loved the restaurant business. Mm-hmm. And I've stayed in it ever since.
And what brought you to barbecue and ultimately opening your own restaurant?
It's nice. It's slow-paced. I get a chance to do something I love. The hectic pressure of fast food, of multiple locations, of a drive-through, you're supposed to get the food out in 30 seconds. It's pressure. It's work. And I got to a point in life I was ready to relax. And barbecue is a relaxing food. It's a down-home food. We cook all night, every night. Everything we cook is like my grandmother used to cook it. And many of our recipes come from my grandmother or people's grandmothers. That's great food. That's the way it should be.
Now, last time I was there, you had some gluten-free options?
We do. Quite a few. We've made all of our sauces but one gluten-free. Chicken salad is gluten-free. Most of our side items, except for the pasta, is gluten-free. And there are many. Barbecue's not an unhealthy food. As it cooks, the juices or the fat cooks out. We limit the salt in many of the products, and it's not unhealthy.
You actually mentioned to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you had some vegetarian offerings at one time.
We tried, but it didn't work out real well. I might do it again, but I don't think people go to a barbecue joint to eat vegetarian food.
I just think that's very forward-thinking that you would offer gluten-free, which is currently the hot food, and even vegetarian, when, again, people think barbecue, they think ribs and brisket and pork and not necessarily just vegetables, but your vegetables are fantastic.
Thank you. But what if you and your wife eat out, what if she's a vegetarian and we don't have an option for her, then you're not going to eat with us.
Yeah.
You're going to go somewhere else. And if we don't have kids' meals, then, you know, your kids sometimes control where you go eat.
Mm-hmm.
And having the opportunity to get on TV and talk about kids' meals or vegetarian options or gluten-free options, it's a lot more than I could do in any other form of media.
And you even cater?
Yes, we do. We do. And haven't yet found one that was too big. We cook whole hogs on occasion. And it's kind of fun to see a whole pig laid out on the smoker and cook him overnight and sit down there and babysit all night long. And it's exciting for us.
Now, there's something that people may not know about is you do special events like for Thanksgiving. I personally had him prepare some ham burnt ends for Thanksgiving, and they were amazing. But you do turkeys as well?
We do turkeys. We have a special smoker that we can do venison. We can do wild turkeys. We can do, you know, whatever
all the
you might
seasonal
have.
things.
Yep. And we do holiday packages where we do sweet potato casserole and pecan pies, all the things you like at Christmas and Thanksgiving. And that's part of the fun of the passion of cooking, that you don't like to do the same thing every day. And so we try to vary the menu. We have specials from time to time and special desserts by day, and we make our soups from scratch, and we do 2 or 3 different soups a week. And it works out fun for us, and as long as I'm enjoying it and my customers come in and enjoy it, then I'm happy.
And you have some cruise-ins left still?
We do, probably 2 more. We'll do one the first week of September, first Saturday in September, and then probably the first Saturday in October. And that'll just about end it, I think, because I think the weather will get too bad.
And since we've talked to you about everything else, what are your hours in case somebody doesn't know and they want to go eat?
We open at 11, but we're always there by 6:30 or 7 in the morning, and we can open up earlier than that. We close at 8 o'clock on Monday through Thursday, 9 on Friday and Saturday, and we close at 5 on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the closing times because I always eke in at the last second. And we're the last ones there, but that's just our schedule. We're funny that way.
And we offer Sunday specials where it comes with 2 sides and a dessert and some chicken and some pork, and we only do that one day a week. And usually it's really popular for us on Sundays.
Well, I'm excited you stopped by because I've talked with you, but I think our viewers would be really interested, especially chamber members and members in the business community, as to what the benefits of this new Hometown TV Madisonville is and what it's all about. They've seen your ad, they've seen other ads, and it's nice to hear from you in this format what it's been a benefit to you.
Thanks for asking me to come. I mean, it gave me a chance to say how proud I am to be part of the community in Madisonville. And you know, there's always people who say there's nothing to do in Madisonville. And things like Hometown TV, you only have to watch it for a short time to know that there's a lot to do in Madisonville. And not just restaurants, there's many other activities. And I think that's a wonderful way to advertise our community.
I agree. Hey, Dave, thank you very much for coming by. I appreciate it.
Oh, hello. I'm Dave from Sticky Pig Barbecue in Madisonville. Just checking on my pork shoulders here. These been cooking for about 6 hours. I got a brisket that's about 3/4 of the way done. It needs about 6 more hours. Remember we did ribs a month ago? Today we're going to talk about cooking some beef brisket. Brisket comes from a cow. We use an Angus beef. And the brisket is the front part of the cow. Brisket was once described to me as dinosaur tongue. You can see it's a giant piece of meat. This one's probably a good 20, 22 pounds. A lot of fat, a lot of very white fat on the outside, not marbled like a good ribeye. Even when you flip it over, you can see the very lean meat, but it's also got a lot of fat. Our friend Brian will cut off this big piece of fat here. You'll see how big it is in a minute. We'll cut off a little here, but we won't do much to the other side. There's two parts to a brisket. There's the flat end, which you can see it's thinner. The grain runs this way, and this part works beautiful for slicing. Get to this end, there's another section here. The grain still runs, but there's an alternate piece that runs this way. This is very fatty, and it's much better for pulling and for burnt ends. Okay, I'm going to flip this back over and give it to Brian. First thing he'll do is level the top of it just so that it's about the same height across. Fat is flavor. In this business, you don't want to cut off too much fat, but you don't want to leave it on there too much either. The rest of this, a lot of it will render down. We'll cook it skin side up at first so the juices will cook through, and then after we wrap it, we'll turn it skin side down so the juices stay in there. That's looking good, Brian. Where the ribs, we were not much rub on the ribs. Brisket, you can put a lot of rubs on it. Where ribs don't cook very long, brisket cooks a long time. And I've seen a lot of people that just dust it on. Some other people believe you should massage it in. I think if you do what he's doing, you sprinkle it on, then you spread it out evenly. Within a few minutes, it'll soak in to where that it looks wet and it won't fall off. It's important that every bit gets covered and rubbed, and as it soaks through, as the grease renders down, it gives it that much more flavor. It ends up coming out like a nice piece of steak with that kind of seasoning, that kind of tenderness. We flip it with you here. We'll roll it over without losing too much. Now all this fat, if there's too much fat, that's one of the reasons we cut it. The rub won't go through the fat, and it ends up being wasted as it cooks off. But when you sprinkle it on, this thinner cap of fat on this end, as the fat melts down, since we cook it fat side up, it'll cook through the meat. You end up with flavor all the way through. Now we'll put this on the smoker. We'll try to get it between 12, 15 hours of smoke using hickory and oak. Then we'll wrap it in saran wrap, let it cook for another 5-6 hours, and we'll end up with something 20 hours. When it's about 195 degrees, it's done. And that's what we shoot for, is the temperature at the fat end, about 195. A little less than that for the sliced end. If we're going to do sliced brisket, we'll bring it out just a little pinker than that. Okay, you can see the nice juices in it. You can see the grill marks where it's been on the grill, the bark from our seasoning you saw us put on earlier. It's ready to be wrapped, and then it'll set and hold the juices in for several more hours. Okay. Now there's no special prep to this other than wrapping it. Roll that over for you. And the saran wrap doesn't burn. It's like we use with our ribs. We keep it about 220 or so for brisket. Where ribs cooked a little warmer, we like brisket between 200 and 220. The saran wrap is a secure wrap around the outside. You can still see the bark, but it'll hold in all the juice. This is our finished brisket. It's been cooking about 24 hours, and it's rested for a few hours to let the juices come back in it. Got this piece here that's cut off. We're going to slice one end of our brisket, make some nice little slices. We don't normally serve sliced brisket, but if you ever want sliced brisket from us, if you give us a day's notice, we'll be happy to get all you need. See the smoke ring of the brisket? The red color doesn't mean it's undercooked. That's the smoke from the wood and the hickory and the oak wood. Got a nice bark, a seasoning on the outside. Then the meat is very tender and juicy. You can see the juice all in it. Brisket is a very, very lean piece of meat, but it also has a lot of fat in it. And it's sliced brisket, I think, is wonderful. It tastes the same as pulled brisket, but it sure is pretty. Okay, now that's what sliced brisket looks like. I'm going to turn it over to my friend Brian here, and we're going to make some ready for burnt ends. A lot of people in Kentucky don't know what burnt ends are. Burnt ends are really not burnt. They're double smoked beef brisket. Got a layer of fat in the middle that when we put it back on the smoker, that'll smoke off. Brisket can be very, very tough. When we first got into the barbecue business, I ruined a lot of brisket before I learned how to do it. But now it can be just very, very tender, It's in nice big chunks. We'll put it back on the smoker for a few hours. It'll absorb some extra smoke and some extra seasoning. The fat will render out of it, and it'll make a delicious finger food. Okay, that's plenty for burnt ends. Would you like to cut some of that up, and then we'll show them how we pull it by hand to shred it. And that's what we use for our sandwiches. That you can see where he's got it cut. He's going to pull it apart by hand, and the nice little pieces that fit nicely on a plate or on a sandwich, and it just fall apart tender. Now I'm ready to eat. This is our beef brisket plate that we just fixed, fresh off the smoker. We heat it in a cast iron skillet. Make sure it's nice and warm when you get it. Got potato salad. We put a little fresh dill in to season it just right. It's a mustard-based potato salad. We cook our green beans overnight in a slow cooker. It's got a lot of smoked ham. Got some pork jowl in it. Little onion, little garlic, little potatoes. Dave's Sticky Pig, Madison Square Drive. We do everything from scratch, like your grandmother used to do it. I don't want to be better than your grandmother. I just want to be better than all the other restaurants that you can have.
So to pick out on something that Dave mentioned, that people think there's not a lot going on. Just recently, we finished or concluded the Independence Bank Madisonville as an adventure race. It was something very unique to our region. Generally, for an adventure race, you have to go to a city like Nashville or Indianapolis. Oh, hey, look who's here. Chief Williams.
Hi,
hey.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Very good.
Good to see you. Have a seat.
All right, I thought I'd just stop in and see how things were in the chamber office.
They're great, and
All right.
in fact, you couldn't have had better timing because I was just talking about how we have a lot of unique events in the area, and we just had the Madisonville as an adventure race that was put on by Independence Bank. I know you're working on a new race,
Yes.
the 9/11 Heroes Run.
That's right.
Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, 9/11 Heroes Run is it's an event sponsored through the Travis Minion Foundation. It's a 501c3 organization, and there are multiple locations around the United States, and we are the closest one, I think, within 100 miles.
Wow.
That's having one. So it's a very unique event, and it is built on the foundation of recognizing 9/11 heroes. First of all, in the 9/11, but heroes since then, and for public service and first responders and all those events. And
even military, right?
Even military, yeah. It's Travis Minion was a first lieutenant in the Marine Corps, was killed in Iraq during the war, and that's what this foundation's based on. The money that it raises is used for grants, scholarship for children, for veterans' children's, transition assistance from the military, things like that. But the most important thing that I'm interested in is the local. It gives back to the local community.
Oh, really? How so?
And it does that by a portion of the funds raised will go back to the police department and the fire department, split between us two, depending on the amount of volunteers and registers, people that we can get registered under us.
So how many police do we have registered?
We have, as of last I checked, 42 so far.
42. Wow. Now, we're going to have a representative from the fire department, but he was unable to make it with scheduling. But from my understanding, the police have far out registered the fire department so far.
Well, I don't want to rub anybody's face in it.
Oh, you're not. I am.
We have probably 3-1 so far. You know, we have a good, healthy competition between us, and we have several guys. We've had, I think we've ran 5 marathons in the last 2 years. We've ran adventure races. We've ran. We're a healthy organization, and we look for any way we can to help display that.
Now, I know the fire department is too. I see them running a lot.
That's
so
right, yeah.
This is my sort of volley to them. Hey, let's step up and see how many people you guys can get out here too.
That's right. Yeah.
So my understanding, though, is that this is a unique race in that it's different than most races. It's at night.
It is at night, and it's which is unique. It's the first time we've done a night race. We've done some night parades, but this will be the first time we do a night race. So it's got some challenges that we're looking at, but we think it'll be unique and hopefully bring more people out for it.
Is it the same course we always run from Baptist, or is it somewhat different?
It is a different course. It required some logistical things, but we wanted to incorporate the new Veterans Memorial.
Okay.
So that's where we're going to try to start from.
Okay.
So in doing that, we had some issues with the state highway office with their road and all that. So, but it's taking a little more time and a little more details, but I think it's worth it.
So a night race, which is something new. It's a new course, which is something unique.
That's right.
It is an event, a themed event, which are all the rage now with the color run, the glow run, the zombie run.
Right.
That you can't participate in unless you drive 100 miles away from here.
That's right.
And I heard something about how it's going to be lit up. Can you paint a picture of what this is going to be like on race day at 8 o'clock?
Well, we're still working through the logistical parts of that, but we're going to use a lot of military-themed chem lights, black light type lights, and we're going to have first responder vehicles with their lights and sirens and things like that. So that's what we're shooting for.
So the sky is going to be lit up with
absolutely
red and blue and orange and chemical light. It sounds to me like it's going to be a pretty dramatic, emotional event for a lot of people.
Yeah, and it will include some different personnel that will address the audience before and after the race. About why we're doing this, and just to keep those people in mind that why we're doing this is for those heroes of 9/11, military, public service, and all that.
I think it sounds really exciting. This is just another example of something that Madisonville is doing that you can't find without going to a much larger city, much further away. And, we hear this a lot. There's nothing to do. I have to go somewhere else. It's not really the case, is it?
I don't think so. I mean, this is a unique. I've been all over the state and all over the U.S. running in races, but this is the most unique themed race that I've ever been a part of. So I'm looking forward to it.
I think this is going to be really exciting. What's the date?
The date is September the 7th, and it's scheduled for 8 o'clock.
Okay.
If more information on it, you go to www.911heroesrun.com.
Okay.
You can do everything you need to do. You can get information there. You can register and so forth. One significant event of it is you put in a code on it, a coupon code. And you won't get any money off of it, but you could put in CP1 if you want to register for a police side, or you put CP2 if you want to register for fire.
Okay.
And that in turn gives the local police and fire credit to that money that goes back into their for training funds or whatever they use those for.
And I guess we could use a few extra dollars.
Absolutely, anytime. I'll take it.
All right. Well, thank you for stopping by. I'm excited about this. I'm going to be working the event. I hear you're going to be running in it?
Yeah, I'll be running / working, probably catch it all. So we'll be there, and we'll have lots of policemen there, and we have lots of volunteers there. We're still looking for volunteers as well. So anybody that's interested in that, contact us, and we'll be glad to plug you in the right place.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you all, our viewers, will take some time. If you don't participate by running in it or walking in it, because you can walk too, we'd ask that you would come out and watch the participants, because this is going to be a really unique thing, something that you'll want to be a part of, and I'm sure it's going to be very emotional.
Absolutely.
Well, great. Thanks for stopping by.
All right. Thanks, Lee, for having me. See you.
Be safe.
All right.
8:46 a.m. The attack on the World Trade Center begins.
102 minutes later, the Twin Towers fall,
taking with them the lives of nearly 3,000.
Including 343 firemen.
And 60 police officers.
Stand for your community. Run for our heroes.
I don't know about you, but I'm really looking forward to that 9/11 Heroes Run. I think it's going to be something truly special. And here's a list of upcoming events from the Chamber. Thursday, September 5th, we'll have a ribbon cutting for Amanda's on Main, which is at 28 Sugg Street at 11:30. This is a new location for her. She's moved around the corner. The store is fantastic, and you're really going to like what she's offering. Also, September 5th is the Family Coal Rally at the Ballard Convention Center. It'll be at 4 p.m. Be sure and stop by and show your support for coal. Monday, September 9th is the Ambassadors Meeting at noon at the Chamber office. Tuesday, September 10th, we'll have an after hours at Armstrong Coal from 5 to 7. It's located at 407 Brown Road. Thursday, September 12th, Leadership Hopkins County Orientation from 4 to 5 p.m. at the Chamber office. Monday, September 16th, there's a ribbon cutting and open house for the Minority Economic Development Council. Their office is located at the Chamber at 15 East Center Street, and the event will be held from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. September 24th, there will be an after-hours at Phillips Studio & Company in Hanson. It's located at 17 Sunset Road and will be held from 5 to 7 p.m. Thursday, October 3rd, there's a State of Education Hot Topic Lunch sponsored by MCC and an after-hours at Madisonville Ford Nissan from 5 to 7 p.m. Tuesday, October 15th is the I-69 Development Conference held at the Ballard Center. It starts at 8:30 and goes till 4 with a reception following until 5 p.m. November 8th through the 9th is the Chamber Holiday Open House. Wednesday, November 27th is the Farm City Breakfast at 6:30 a.m. at the Greater Lighthouse Pentecostal Church. This is the 38th annual Farm City Breakfast. Also, I'd like to spotlight renewing members for this month: Personal Finance Company, Regional Senior Citizens Center, Wendy's, Hospice of Western Kentucky, Thrifty Home Medical, Green River Colliers LLC, Rogers Jewelers, Subway, Brighton Cornerstone Healthcare, and Huck's number 364. We have a lot of great events coming up. We hope to see you there. Thanks for watching our first episode. See you soon.